What's going on, guys? In today's video we're going to talk about the Zero G hose. Does it last? Would I recommend it? What's the price on it? Is it worth the money? So that's what we're going to talk about today. Alright guys, this is my hand, right? Okay, now I did one of these videos about 3 or 4 years ago, and I don't know how I ended up doing it, but the whole video is upside down. And what's even more crazy is I guess people just wanted the answer, but I mean they ended up being like I don't know, 5,000 or 6,000 views on that video. And I mean most of it would be like hey, you know, why don't you video it upside down next time and make it easier for us. But anyway, the Zero G hose, this right here, this is my hand. You can see this is 100 feet of water hose. Okay, now you can't wad up a Never Kink. You can't wad up one of those big thick ones. Now trust me, I know some guys don't care nothing about these. Some people don't care, they want the biggest hose they can get. I used to get the Never Kinks. I've heard guys talk about Goodyears, and I'm not talking about just pressure washing, I'm talking about just in your home. Every customer that I talk to about water hose, because you know, I'd say about 7 out of 10 customers have them at their house, I always recommend these. You can spray them. I have one customer that has like a little flower pot beside his water faucet, and when it collapses he just sticks it in there. He don't need a hose reel, he can just pull it out and roll it back up. And I mean, like I said, I mean this is 100 foot of hose. This is brand new wad that I got, and the only reason I had to get a new one is because I needed extra length on a job I have coming up. But this was $71, 100 foot. I think you can get a 50 footer for like 50. So you can do the math on that. So the video that I did the first time, I had 100 foot of hose, and I mean I'm wrestling it around because it's so crazy. But you know, you go out there, you wash your car, you go out there, wash your house down, water your garden. Do you really want to be pulling a heavy hose that's, you know, 3/4 inch thick? Do you really want to be carrying that around, or carrying a big thick one? You know, look at this. This is flimsy. This is flimsy, but it lasts. This stuff is woven, and it has an inner tube inside of it, I guess. I really don't know, bladder it would be the right word. But I have dragged this stuff across numerous concrete, sand, dirt, rose bushes, corners of properties. You know, when we do a house and we're doing, say, a corner, and you have something and you're like dragging it right up against this, I mean, you don't want to do that, but sometimes that's what happens. But the wind's going to get up. Try not to be too loud. This hose here, I have two 50-foot hose right here, and it has been great. It looks a little bit frayed just right here, but that's just from normal use. This hose has sat out in the weather for the last 3 years and never ever give me any issues. It doesn't leak from here. Now the one I did have trouble with, and I wouldn't buy it again, is I bought the 3/4, the commercial hose, and like this is normal 5/8 water hose when it expands out, but the other one was 3/4, and you couldn't even put a regular hose end on it because it had so much volume it wouldn't shoot, you know, it wouldn't shoot that high. Like I was having trouble just shooting like a normal peak, you know, just to try to rinse something off with it. And then my hose ends started leaking. It didn't matter if I put the white one that comes with it, if I changed it to the black rubber one, I could not keep the hose end from going back this way. It would leak from here and it leaked from there, and I just didn't care for that. So when I ended up needing new, I ended up getting this one. So is the Zero G worth it? 100% yes. I think it will last a regular homeowner. I think it'll last them, you know, probably at least 10 years, if not longer. Like I said, this one sets out in the weather, never gets put up. It gets snowed on, rained on, the sun beats it, the frost frosts it, you know, freezes it. and it gets used in commercial pressure washing all the time. Gets drug across concrete, and it's still holding up. There's still no leaks. Now my green one, it leaked. My green one ended up leaking in through here somewhere, and it wasn't that I couldn't use it, but it leaked and it made a mess, and the hose end wasn't that great. But these 0Gs, these gray ones, I don't think I still have the box. I may or may not. Yeah, I still have the box. Right here. 5/8, 100 footer, 0G. It says it comes with a 5-year warranty. I don't know what the warranty was on that green one, if it even had one. I never even looked. I didn't know they had warranties. But a 5-year warranty is pretty good on a water hose, but I'm telling you, unless you do something really crazy with it, you'll never use that warranty. I think for a regular homeowner, this would probably last for, like I said, 10 years, if not longer. It has, like here, the way they got this figured out. Now, my old one, you can see this is like a newer version. I'll pull this down. You know, this one here is my old version, and this is the new. It seems like it has like some sort of a swivel, but it looks like a brass instead of brass inside instead of stainless. I'm not for sure on that, but it looks brass. I really don't know what the purpose of this hard plastic is, except for just to be a hose end. I like this because it doesn't kink on the pressure or on the reel. But yeah, if you're in the market for a water hose, whether you're watching this because you're shopping for a water hose or looking for a review, we use these every day across concrete, across all kinds of different terrain, and they hold up great. I use it in my pressure washing business. Now I have poly braid hose. It's expensive stuff. It lasts. That's why I use it. 3H pressure hose. It's expensive stuff, but you have to have it. Now the only thing about this, if you're going to use it in pressure washing, is, you know, it's flat. You're going to have to pull out everything that you need to hook up. You won't be able to hard plumb it and go from there. Now that's the only downfall that I could see in it, but at the same time, because it lasts, I would rather do that than have the other hose taking up so much space, and then, you know, knowing after 2 years of it sitting out in the sun, I'm gonna have to replace it. I don't care nothing about that. So 0G hose, that's my review. That's my thoughts on it. I have bought 3. This is number 4, and the only one I had an issue with was the green one. It looks cool when it's bright green. I like bright colors, but it just didn't hold up. Didn't hold up whatsoever. It lasted about a year, maybe a year and a half, if that, and it leaked from here all the time. The hose end, it leaked from behind the fitting, and then it ended up splitting at the hose. And on top of that, when I would try to hook up a regular hose end to it, it didn't have enough pressure because it was such a big hose. So I ended up having to get a 0 tip just to shoot, you know, to rinse with it. So anyway, that's my time for the day. I definitely recommend these.